Hey folks, welcome back to another CTC System update / model railroad update. First off, I'm going to talk about some purchases I have made in the past couple of months, including some purchases from the Easley train show back in February. It's long past due, but here we go. So first thing I'm going to talk about are these auto rack cars I have back here. I purchased a total of 5 at the train show. And these first 3 I got right here. The NS, the CP Rail, the GT1. I got all 3 of those for $130. They were each marked at $55, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. The Southern Pacific one, the 4th one down, has some graffiti on it. It was weathered a bit. It was $28, so that was a pretty good price in my mind. And the BN was $40. So this model railroad that I have that I'm starting up right now is going to be an auto rack facility. I realized it had been a while since I purchased any freight cars, so I figured I'd venture out some. And I'm slowly building it up. Not planning to put any scenery down or anything like that, but it is sort of meant to be taken down, put back up with some ease, because the second room of my apartment is supposed to be an office / guest room / model train workshop. So that's kind of where I'm headed with this auto rack facility. And just a little aside here, I kind of thought it would be cool to incorporate this into my model railroad back in Alabama. So for any of you video game people out there, you would understand this analogy. If my Alabama model railroad was the main game you would buy on day one, this model railroad here is meant to be more of a DLC, sort of an add-on. I plan to eventually make a larger model railroad, sort of incorporating what I have so far. So that's my long-term plans with this. Right now it's just something I can play trains with in my apartment until I can get a place with some more room. But that's sort of my long-term plans here. Back to model train purchases. I purchased another engine, and I wasn't really planning on buying this, but this is just one of those things that you go to a model train show, you're not expecting to buy it, and it just calls your name. And I figured I would buy it because if I didn't, it would be nagging at me all train show long. This is a BN C30-7, number 5509. It's an older Atlas engine. It is straight DC, and I bought it for $50. I plan to upgrade this to DCC sound in the future. I will not be doing the upgrade. I will be paying somebody to do it because it is quite the beast from what I understand to upgrade a DCC engine to a DCC sound engine. A lot goes into it. So that's that. And obviously you can see I've purchased some track over this period of time. Next purchase I want to talk about are these 6 Norfolk and Western Powhatan Aero streamlined coaches. They don't come with trucks, pins, or couplers or anything like that. It's just mainly the coach bodies. But for $25, that's a price you simply can't beat. And I have been looking for something like this to go along with my J-Class for quite some time, and I jumped on it pretty quick. So I was really happy to get those. Now back over to the other side. I made some purchases at the Hub City Railroad Museum in Spartanburg, and I bought 5 nickel plate road coaches to go with my 765. I've got so many coaches that need parts, it's not even funny. But first coach I want to talk about is this one lying on its side down here. It is a Concours RPO passenger baggage car. I bought it for $10. It was used, and it came with the coach body, trucks, Z-couplers, but no pins to mount the trucks to the coach with. So I'm going to have to hopefully run across some pins to go with the coach someday, or just buy some screws and make do with what I have. I also purchased 4 branch line trains Pullman kits. One I have finished, it is in the background by my auto rack cars, and the second I am currently working on, and I have 2 others that are boxed away, and I will get around to those sooner or later when I have the time. So as far as model train purchases go, that's about it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I got the 4 branch line trains kits for $95. The one in the background was $25, and the 3, including the 2 in the boxes, including the one that I'm currently working on right now, are both $70. They came in a kit. They came in a bundle of 3. So I was happy to get these, so I pretty much have a set of coaches for almost every steam engine I have. It's quite fascinating. So I think that about wraps up my recent model trains purchases. So now we're going to move on to the CTC project. So to begin, I felt like taking a break from coding because I wanted to show folks more semi-tangible stuff that they could see, because coding can be kind of difficult to understand it sometimes, myself included. But I wanted to show something folks could see and realize that I have made progress on. So I went with CAD models. It was a bit of a process because most of the time I'm tired when I come home from work and I just don't want to do anything. But I was able to get through quite a few of these things. I first want to talk about the signal bridges here. I made a right-handed signal bridge and a left-handed signal bridge. I sort of copy and pasted a portion of the right-handed bridge and used it to make the left-handed bridge. Is there a big difference between the two? I don't know. I just felt like doing this way. But I'm okay with how it's turned out so far. I modeled it off the signal bridge at RPM, and yes, it is as close to scale as I could get it. What I did to do that was I looked up the height of an AC44CW on the internet. It's about 15 feet 6 inches in real life, and I also made the connection that the picture of it in landscape format on my cell phone was a scaled down version of this. So I used proportions. If you remember that from middle school math, I used something similar to, I used the mindset A over B is equal to C over D, and the problem kind of read as A is to B as C is to D. And I knew the dimension of this, and by measuring the picture on my cell phone, I got the dimensions of those, what I needed on the signal bridge. I got the dimension of the engine in real life, the engine on my cell phone, what dimension I needed from the signal bridge on my cell phone, and I used all of that to find the dimension of the signal bridge in real life. And this is the final result. Now, I will admit that I did make one near fatal flaw in this. Most everything in this is to scale, except for the LEDs that go into the signal heads. I didn't take that into account. They're about twice the size as what they should be, but unfortunately I couldn't find anything smaller than 3 millimeters on Amazon. So I'm having to roll with what I've got and hope for the best. But just talking about this some more, I'm trying to get this to rotate. I put these little latches on the back here to go here and here, on these two stubs right here. That way I don't have to break into the signal head and 3D print a new one every time I need to fix something in here. I can just take the face off the head body and make adjustments as needed. So that's pretty much it for the CAD software. I plan to get a new 3D printer in the future, so I won't be making a physical model of these anytime soon. But I just figured I'd make these in CAD to be able to show off and show, yes, I've been doing something with this project and I haven't stopped work completely. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing and watching some of my other content. And if you have any questions about anything in this project that I have discussed, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, and I will do my best to explain it as I possibly can. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.